Hey, trillionaires out there, this is Astronaut Week. That's right, we're going to have a bunch of video postings this week of the training that Nick went through to become an astronaut. So before we even get started, I got a question. How many of you, when you were young, thought, wow, I want to be an astronaut? Besides you, I know you thought like that, but there are trillionaires out there who had that same thrill. And here you are, Nick, and you actually did it, man. I mean, that's amazing. Congratulations,
Thank you very much.
I mean, to have a childhood dream, starting out when you were 4, right? When you said to your dad?
I said, Mum and Dad, I want to become an astronaut.
Right. And what was cool is that they didn't say, oh, no, you can't do that. They were actually
Go for it, yeah. Well, my dad said, but don't become an astronaut, become a cosmonaut.
Well, now, why is that?
Well, because cosmonaut was... apparently cosmonauts under the Soviet Union was a lot cooler than being an astronaut of the West. Basically,
right.
Cosmonaut and astronaut, the same thing. It just basically means sailor of the stars. That's effectively what an astronaut and a cosmonaut is.
I never knew that. Sailor of the stars. Wow, that is so cool. I love that.
Derives from a Greek word, yeah.
Wow, and derives from a Greek word. Amazing. And so you decided that you were going to do this. Now, I know that those people who have seen the introductory bonus videos had a chance to see, to know some of the sacrifices that you had to make.
Yep.
One of them being a guinea pig at having your eyes cut with a scalpel. This is not LASIK, guys. Not laser surgery with a machine. This is a little sharp scalpel-looking thing where they go in and they cut your eyes.
Incisions on each eye, and we was done with the scalpel, and I had his surgery, and it restored my vision. So it allowed me to go to the next level in regards to other pursuits, and one of them was to become an astronaut.
Well, and you know what? I think it's an incredible testimony to the value of sacrifice.
Yeah.
When you want to go do something and you want it badly enough, you just make the decision, whatever it takes, that's what I'm going to do, and then you did this. Now, at the same time, it's not as though there's a college curriculum to become an astronaut.
The thing is, I mean, look, I never went to university or college. I mean, I got into university, but for me, I chose to defer. I mean, you know, in life, a well-worn path isn't necessarily the right path to follow in life.
Correct.
And there's no right or wrong answer, whether you're going to university or not. But for me, my path was paved elsewhere, and I basically adhered to that.
Right. And so what you decided to do is go to the School of Hard Knocks, to do it yourself, etc. But let's get back to being an astronaut. Again, let's suppose that I wanted to be an astronaut. You know, I'm not really sure that I have any great desire to be an astronaut, but I do think it's cool. And, you know, it's not like I can just go apply.
No, definitely not. First of all, okay, I'm a civilian astronaut, which means I'm under no government mandate. I'm not funded by any government in the world. I am a civilian.
Right, you had to fund it yourself.
Yes, I funded it myself. So first of all, the financial capacity, okay?
Right.
But that aside, I mean, if you don't pass your medicals or your psychological tests or your theory classes, I mean, effectively, I went to study again.
Right. But where was all this? I mean, you know what? Here's what we're going to do, Nick. I'm just going to let everybody know, part of our community. We were going to do just 3 videos. We're actually going to do 4 about being an astronaut, because I really want to talk about the process of just doing this.
Yeah.
So I just changed plans right now, right on camera. We're going to talk about how you actually got into the program.
Yep.
And then we're going to do 3 more posts after this, 3 more videos talking about various aspects of training as an astronaut, okay? So first of all, where does this happen?
Okay, well, first of all, Star City, which is probably, I mean, for like every astronaut or cosmonaut, Star City is the place. In fact, Yuri Gagarin, the first human being to represent humanity, was trained at Star City.
Now, this is Star City, Chicago?
Star City, outside Moscow, basically.
Okay, in Russia.
On Moscow, yeah.
In the forests of Moscow, okay.
Outside Moscow.
Okay, got it.
How's this? Until the demise of the Soviet Union,
right.
NATO wanted to know the whereabouts of this particular military installation. And it wasn't until like the early 1990s that the Russians divulged the location. And then in the West, we found out about Star City, which was the equivalent to Cape Canaveral of NASA.
Ah, gotcha. And so how did you go to, it's not, I mean, people, there's not like a taxi service that drops you off at Star City, right? I mean, this has got a highly secretive military installation, something.
So you got to go for your security clearances. I mean, I actually went for utilised a brokerage company that can actually broker the deals and liaise with me and the Russians. So what they did was, we had to prove to the Russians that medically I was on the right stuff.
Right.
Then my body can handle the rigorous training.
Right.
And also in regards to like rocketing to orbit, I mean that my body can handle the G loads, the G forces, and what have you.
Because it's just so much pressure, right?
So
It's
much
just
pressure. I mean,
right.
you know, space travel. It's incredibly risky,
Right.
and you need to be in a very good physical shape. Okay? So what we did was this. So we had all the medical tests. I mean,
Now, did you do those medical tests in Russia, or do you do them in Australia, or where do you do
I
them?
am done in Galveston, Texas.
Ah, okay.
So basically, I've been probed more times, and I say this. I mean, not even an alien abduction will come close.
right.
So I went through like a whole host of different tests. You know, with shrinks and what have you. A lot of medical tests. I mean, blood work after blood work after blood work and what have you. And that basically allowed me to be considered for qualification process.
Right, and so then you, at that point, you put in your application, or
Application
you're
was
still working with a
actually
broker? Is that what?
And yep, I basically broke the deal and I paid a certain amount of money for the actual training, which was in the millions of dollars.
Right. Okay.
And with no guarantees that I will be able to complete the course.
Got it. So you
Because
plugged down.
there was a myriad of other training
Right.
regimes along the way.
Right. So at each step,
Yeah.
you got to pass the next one to
And
get to
there
the
were
next one.
exams. Lots of examinations along the way too, which also meant I also had to embrace a new language too, which was Russian.
Now, okay, before we finish on this particular video and actually get ready for the next one, how'd you learn Russian?
Okay, well, first of all, because all the systems training, all the simulators were all in Russian, so it was all Cyrillic alphabet, which meant I could have learnt the whole concept of spaceflight in an alien vehicle because I was learning a new foreign language to me.
Right.
And all
Now that's interesting. Well, I don't know if you guys caught that. In other words, to do what Nick does or did was exactly the same as any of us being picked up by an alien and learning how to fly that vehicle.
Absolutely. Now, all our instructors only spoke Russian. So we had like, Russian tutors who would teach us Russian language at least 3 or 4 hours every day.
And how's your Russian now?
It's quite good. I mean, Russian, it's a very grammar-related language, and it's very difficult too. So it takes some time to just fully grasp it. And I mean, look.
So I can go to Russia with you, and you can be the guy talking to people and whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool. That's cool. So we can take some trillionaires to Russia,
Yes.
right, guys? We could take some trillionaires to Russia and go. Okay. Now,
Hook you up.
you can hook us up. Excellent. You can order the food, to get the hotel handle for us and all that stuff. Quickly capsulizing, at the end, I understand you were actually living at the base, right? I mean, for how long did you have
to? On a military base, and it was a military installation with certain rules, so I couldn't leave the base. I could leave the base on Fridays at 6 p.m., but I had to be back on base by 6 a.m. Monday.
So you would actually fly out, do international wealth seminars all over the world, and be flying back, landing, and being up ready for training Monday morning.
Yeah. So I was actually one weekend, I actually flew to Australia. I was actually speaking at a conference where I spoke for an hour and a half. I actually arrived in Australia 2 hours prior to my talk. And about half an hour after I spoke for an hour and a half, I was back on a plane back to Russia.
In order to make it in time for Monday morning.
Moscow, Singapore, Sydney. Spoke for an hour and a half. Then
back to the airport?
Back to the airport, and I got there Monday morning again.
Amazing. Which, by the way, is incredible because that's what happens when you pay the price. You get to do amazing things like becoming an astronaut cosmonaut. Okay, so here's the deal. From this point forward, I have 3 more, trust me, incredible videos of the training, actually not even the training, a fraction of the training that Nick went through to become an astronaut, a civilian astronaut, a sailor to the stars, a sailor through the stars?
Sailor of the stars.
Sailor of the stars. Thank you so much. Please sign up for the RSS feed. If you haven't put yourself on the RSS feed yet, right on the page, on the Thrilling Air page, get the RSS feed so you'll know when there's a new video blog posting, because I got 3 more incredible videos coming your way. And as always, we want to hear from you. Leave us your comments on the blog. Thanks so much.